Yo, welcome to another episode of the Slidethru podcast.
Yo,
How's everyone doing right now?
chilling.
Good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we get into it, let's make sure we shout out our sponsors. Shout out to Monterey Bay Creations. If you want any of that custom clothing, custom designing, make sure you hit up Monterey Bay Creations. You dream it, they create it for you. They did some shit for me for one of my jackets. I loved it. That shit came out clean, nice. I'm rocking it everywhere. Everyone's peeping me out because my shit's custom made. So shout out to them. And also shout out to Definitely Eatin'. Make sure you go hit up their clothing as well. You could visit definitellyeatin.com. All the shit's online now. So make sure you go peep their website. I'm pretty sure they got some new merch in there. They got some lighters, stickers, all kinds of shit, patches, you know what I mean? The classic t-shirts, the throwbacks, the hoodies. Motherfucking did I say lighters already? And so much shit right there.
Some new drop coming.
And they got some new shit coming soon.
Blow trays to roll up your weed on. Hoodies, crew necks, baby onesies, booty shorts are dropping springtime.
Yeah.
Springtime, so sometime at mid-March.
The streets were begging for those.
Yeah. So those will be
For the
out
next
too.
challenge.
Yeah, we'll also
For the
gift
next
cards as well.
challenge.
You can buy gift cards on the website as well. So, yeah.
Definitely eating
Gift cards, yep.
Ooh, damn. So make sure y'all pick that
Okay.
up. Go pick that up for your lady. Go pick that up for your man, your side boo, whatever it is, man. So, man, we got some special guests in here as well. And gentlemen, y'all introduce yourselves. Say a little something about yourselves.
What's up? I'm above Apollo. I currently just actually moved back around October to open up my recording studio. It's called Apollo Tracks LLC. It's been open for about 5 months now. So it's basically recording, mixing, mastering. I do voiceovers. I do anything as far as recording related as well. And then we're gonna start getting into live sound as well. When I think July is when they're gonna start opening up live shows around there for COVID.
Shit, yeah.
But yeah.
Hopefully, you know what I mean?
I've been begging to do a show, man. I missed it, man. I missed the people, man. I missed that energy.
No, that was a huge gap of money, that was coming through is the live sound,
For the whole
doing it
music
for
industry.
doing it for retirement parties, quinces, or high school, even high school dances, that's a huge thing that I want to start opening up here as well when they start opening up live venues. I don't know what's gonna go on, but yeah, that's who I am, above Apollo.
My name's RJ or Rob, whichever one y'all want to call me. Just one of his boys, basically. Do security if anything you needed. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. The Ship Night.
Yeah,
Ship Night.
exactly. I'm a seamless attacker.
The Sean Combs.
Oh, there you go.
Sean Combs. Yeah, Sean Combs.
Oh, hey,
I got you.
You
But yeah, just moved back to Seaside around August of last year, just because of family business and all that, and then found out there's better security jobs out here, so I had to come out here.
Nice. Where'd you come from?
I moved back from Fresno, but originally I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Man. Shout out to North Carolina.
Oh, most definitely.
Hell yeah.
Where'd you move from, man? You say,
Oh
you just
yeah,
moved
I was
here?
born in Modesto. I lived in
Okay.
Newman for about 13 years. Moved here, went to Los Arblos in 7th grade. That's when I started coming here. I moved to Marina.
Okay.
And I went to Los Arblos. I went to freaking Seaside High. I went to PG. I went to Marina.
Oh,
and then I had to
shit.
graduated from Monterey High School.
Oh,
so
shit.
that's my little
There's
story.
usually a
Yeah,
reason why you go to
everywhere
multiple
there.
high schools, huh?
yeah. We keep it under the wraps, but yeah, I claim when people ask me, I went to Seaside High. That was
Okay.
the high school I went to. Even though I graduated from Monterey, I only went there for like 3 months.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel it.
So yeah.
I feel it, man. What got you into all the recording? And the
Man, I was actually really into football, man. So I played quarterback. I was really into football, and my grades actually held me back from playing at the college level because I was gonna go to Azusa Pacific and I was gonna play, but my GPA wasn't above a 2.75.
Damn.
So I wasn't able to get a scholarship. And what got me into music, I was always really into music. So I was always that one person that would make like beats on the bus. Everybody, back from Skyline, SoCal or anywhere, bro. We would just be, I'd just be making beats in the back, and everybody would just be rapping. And I kind of got more into the production aspect at first. And my whole little thing was I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start rapping myself because if I can make myself like my voice, I can make anybody like their voice. Because I hated my voice. To this day, I still hate my voice. So it's just one of those things where I was like, I started getting fascinated by it, and as soon as when graduation comes, it's kind of like one of those things. It's like a realization is what am I gonna do after I
For
graduate?
real, it's like, what am I really
You know,
gonna
it's
do
like
now?
most people are just like, oh well, there's a, I'm gonna go to college, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna work, or I'm gonna take a year off. You know, see where you know, how I'm reacting, see how everything is after graduation. And that was a huge thing with me. It was like, you know what, I didn't really have anything planned. But then when I went to Monterey High, Mr. Sanabia, shout out to Mr. Sanabia. He was the counselor at Monterey High. He was dope. He actually found the school that I went to, and it was ranked #1 in the world for like a recording arts and music technology program.
Nice. What's
It's a
up?
junior college, out there called Southwestern College.
Okay.
And that's where I met my mentor, and that's where I met all the people that like I connected with, and that's how I basically got my journey started, was going out there. I moved out there when I was 17.
Nice.
And I went out there, so that's kind of,
It's dope.
that's what got me into it. Yeah.
That's
That's
what's
what's
up.
up.
That's what's up. So you don't rap no more? Straight like.
No, I spit. I
Okay.
still I still make music, but I don't really release it. It's more of like a coping mechanism. I don't really like release music like to get known. You know, I don't really care about that because I'm more on the technical aspect. Like I work with a lot of multiple artists in the area, just like to get their songs sounding right. But like I still work on my songs all the time. You know. Me and Henry actually have a track together.
For sure.
But I'll always make music. It's just like I'm not really releasing it right now.
Okay.
How are you adapting, like learning all the new equipment, all the new stuff? Like, what was kind of stuff like you were used to, like when you first started making beats?
When I first started making like just music in general,
Yeah.
it was just kind of like the programs and like I would say learning just the basic knowledge about like compression or EQ or and once you learn like the basics of everything, like just the basics of recording, you're able to apply that knowledge in any program really. Like if you want to use FL Studio to make beats, as long as you know like the basics of what levels are, what decibel levels are, what SPL is, what EQing is, what compression is, then you can use any program that you see fit. So like I personally use Ableton. I used to use FL Studio, but it's just like for certain people, it's all about what you're comfortable with. Most people will stay in the section or stay in the crib or stay in a certain neighborhood because they're comfortable with it. It's the same thing with with this. Like you want to move to a different neighborhood, you're gonna have to learn how to adapt. It's the same exact thing, same exact process. You got to pay rent, you got to get to meet your neighbors, you got to see who's around you. See what's going on. Find a job. It's the same thing with learning a new program. It's the same thing. It's just a different outlook.
Yeah.
So.
Was that riding the bike? You can ride this bike and now that
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
different bike?
And it's just it's whatever bike you prefer.
Yeah.
So that's how I take my approach to it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. How many like artists have you been working with?
Shoot, in this area, I work with everybody. I work with a lot of heads. It's too many to name, but like I would say a rough amount, probably like over 100 artists.
100 artists. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Was it some from Modesto too, or just around here?
The only artist that I was gonna work with was somebody I grew up with. His name is MBK Switch. He's tapped in with like Bankroll Hayden and stuff. But like that's the only person from like the Modesto area that I would work with. A dude named Riley, a dude named DJ. He's like a dubstep producer. But as far as that, like I work with everybody here. As far as like I've worked with like Bay Area artists like Benny, Shooter Gang Coney, DC Baby Draco. I worked with people like that.
That's dope.
But as far as Modesto area, their scene is kind of. It's not there yet. It's good to get there though. It's kind of like here, we're still building. I guess you could say we're still building the. I was gonna say the eye. Like we're still trying to get the awareness out here. There's a lot of
Yeah.
talent. There's multiple.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
multiple artists out
It's a
here.
lot,
That
lot.
are super talented. It's just we got to get the awareness around the section. We got to build it. We're Central Coast. We're not the Bay, so we got to
Yeah.
take that with pride
Yeah.
and put our own ism upon it. Because when I moved back from San Diego, it's just kind of like I started seeing some San Diego artists. Like Smokey Jim. Shout out my boy Smokey. Free my boy Smokey. And Sethy Smack, MOBCG. They were doing their thing. Memo the Mafioso. They were all doing their thing when I was out there, and like I went out there and like their scene started coming up when I lived there, So it's like I know it's possible because San Diego's always kind of like overlooked because it's like LA's little brother, Everybody's like looks at
Yeah.
LA, RJ or
It's right
Blast
underneath,
or
It's
yeah,
like LA Junior.
So that's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what, bro? Like I'm gonna move back to where my roots are, where how I like came up, and that's like I wanted to come back here, open up a studio because I already had a lot of clients out here. And everybody's like, you need to open up a studio out here, man. You'll go crazy because there's no studios out here, man. Just open up a
Really?
studio.
Yeah.
So when COVID hit, that's when I wanted to open up my studio. So I'm just trying to shed light on the Central Coast industry. That's really what I
Nice.
want to do,
I feel like every part in Cali gets their shine. Every little pocket in Cali gets their shine. You know what I mean? It just takes their time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Sacramento right now.
Oh yeah,
they're popping right now.
Right now,
for sure.
yeah. I mean, they were popping before, but it kind of died off a little bit. But
Yeah.
as of lately, you know what I mean? The shine's very bright on there right there, you know?
Exactly, like all those spots, you know, like you look at like Sacramento, Stockton's
Yeah.
definitely coming up now, you know. All those spots, Fresno's even coming
Yeah.
up, you know.
Yeah.
And you start getting San Bernardino's another one, you know. You start getting a lot of people coming out of San Bernardino too, and it's just like you didn't really see it, and it's just like I know we're on the bubble. I know
Santa
the
Cruz
Central
been
Coast.
making noise like
Yeah,
Santa
They've
Cruz
been making
was-
noise for years,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, and it's in a different genre too. That's what's
Yeah.
crazy.
I've been noticing Santa Cruz like in different documentaries and like different like all like on some different vibe shit like
Yeah.
not,
Real
not
hippie.
hip-hop.
Real hippie
not,
vibe, you know?
not
Yeah.
hip hop but like in other documentaries Santa Cruz be coming up. I'm like, oh word, like for
I
sure.
mean, look at the movie that just
Yeah.
came out. Or,
What was it? Not it. What you call
Well,
it?
not
Us.
us,
yeah,
yeah.
not it.
It was shot on the
based in
pier.
Sac. I mean,
It's
Santa
just
Cruz.
Santa Cruz. I think
Yeah,
even
It was in a what is that place called?
boardwalk.
Aptos.
Aptos.
It was shot in Aptos, and then
was
it was
it?
shot on the border too.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
boardwalk
'cause it
too.
was right there, yeah.
The
They had
boardwalk.
made a specific ride just for that event, and then I think they bring it back around Halloween time. But I mean, it's cool. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think even one of the Transformers, the Bumblebee movie, was some part of it was filmed in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there's a lot of like if you look at
Yeah.
credits and stuff, like even the Monterey Bay has some credits for
Oh,
some
yeah.
big movies, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like this is a beautiful area, and that's why I'm saying like with the music scene, you know, you'll get these big artists that'll come out here because you know like a big artist owns a house in Pebble Beach. It's like people are here, you know, they're coming out here for the PGA tournament.
Yeah.
They're coming out here to go to the Black Horse or
even
vice
car
versa,
shows
anything.
and all
Yeah,
that
car
stuff, yeah.
shows or you know Laguna Seca, how there's that huge little
Yeah.
car meet in the what is that called? The Seattle Classic.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
And
there's
then they also
that
have, like,
big
the
bike
Concorso
meet.
with all the Ferraris and all that
Concourse,
stuff.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
And then
That's
what's
when
that show called?
Which one?
You know what I'm talking about.
They got a show like it's called Big Little Lies or something.
Big Little Lies. That's
But
exactly
there's
what
also
it was,
the
yeah.
one at the fairgrounds. It's like a huge one. It's like the biggest like rave festival like in California.
Oh, you're talking about like a little festival type of thing.
Yeah.
Reggae Fest.
Yeah,
Oh, the
but
reggae
no,
fest and the
Cali
Cali
Roots,
Fest.
Cali Roots,
Cali
Cali
Roots,
Roots,
yeah.
Cali
Roots, there we
yeah.
go.
you know, so
Cali
we
Roots.
have the
Yeah,
platform.
we had E40 here and
We have the
everything,
we have the platform. You know, it's just like we gotta
We got to put ourselves on the platform.
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
get
'Cause we're-
ourselves, and we
yeah.
got to support on the city because on the city spectrum, you know, we have people who claim us as the Bay, and I'm guilty of it too. People ask us where you're from. You're like, oh, I'm from up north. Oh, where by? Like the Bay Area? You're like, yeah, like around there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're the Central Coast. We're not even the Bay to keep it a buck. Like,
Straight up.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm proud of being from here. You know, when people ask me, I'm from the Fog. I'm from Fogtown.
That's
I'm
a
from
beautiful
Marina.
place.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
like
Why
people
lie?
got to be proud of that.
Why lie?
People
Hell
got
yeah.
to be proud of that. Like I'm from the Sod. I'm from I'm from PG. I'm from Monterey. I'm from Fogtown.
Hey,
That's where
man.
I'm from. I'm from Marina.
Yeah.
It's just like people started. You know, I'm from the Salad Bowl. Like you know, I got a homie artist. Shout out to my boy Sweezy. But before every single song, he's like coming out the Salad Bowl, bitch. Like you know, it's just like we need
It's just a
that shit,
thing,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
need that. Like we need people to be able to. You know, we've had like people like conspiracy blow up. You know, that's my boy's uncle that I signed Elijah. It's his uncle, but you know, it's just like we gotta get awareness because there's talent everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's with anything, but it's just like we got to be willing to allow ourselves to get it instead of
Okay.
just closing the grounds right off the rip. They're like, because you know, you get the next man hating on the next man out here. It's like you don't understand. Regardless if that person's your homie, he's a op, he's whoop de wop. Like it's no matter who blows up, it gives a whole
Yeah.
scope.
Whole scope
You know,
on
around the
everybody,
whole
yeah.
section.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to really get awareness of these artists.
Yeah.
Because there's talent everywhere here, man. Too much talent.
That's
Hell
for
yeah,
sure.
man. Well said. Well said.
That's
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. That's for sure. So, man, what was your plans with the studio you got right now?
So the plans I have with my studio right now. So like actually, right now, I'm basically just working. You know, with the COVID guidelines. You know, you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
you gotta keep the COVID guidelines. So like it's tough, but you know, as far as like what I want to do, I want to branch out. I want to actually branch out. Like I said, get some more live sound venues. become, not like a DJ, but somebody who does lighting for venues, somebody who does, the sound for venues, and hire a disc jockey that can provide those services, and I'll do the lighting and stuff. But I want to take it to the next level, man, like Nipsey, like all money in type shit. And I just really want to build a foundation. So my foundation is right here, my recording studio, but I want to get into live, like lighting and clubs and getting venues and putting down payments on venues and getting artists to perform at those venues.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that's my goal, because I want to take out the middleman. That's my ultimate goal in this, because I'm fuck the industry. Anybody watching, fuck the industry, bruh. Yeah. You feel me? Like, nah, that's some real shit, bro. Like,
independent shit.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, we got our own backs, bro. Like, I don't see Drake paying my fucking bills, bro.
Right.
Yeah, fuck Drake, bro. Like,
you
that's a fact, bro.
You wasn't feeling the scary hours?
Yeah, bro. But like, that's how I feel, bro. Like, if it brings controversy, fuck it. Like, I don't even care, bro. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm supporting my city, bro, and like, I'm trying to put on for. There's so many talented people out here, and I just see it all the time. People like, you hear that new Drake album that just dropped? Like, bro, like, did you just hear that? That new List with the Flood God tape that just dropped? Did you just hear that new Above Apollo song that dropped? Or did you hear that new Benny tape? Did you even on a local, like on like, or Cash Kid or somebody on a smaller scale, Yeah. It's like, did you hear Cash Kid's tape? Oh, did you hear AFM Peso's tape? Yeah. Did you hear, One Take J? Like, that's what I'm on, bro. Like, oh, that Blast tape, or, Be No Raidu or something like that. And it's just like, I'm all about that. Like, bro, like, support your homies who aren't like, I'm not trying to get too deep into it, but like,
no, man, definitely right.
That's how I am, because I'm passionate about it, bro. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I built I'm trying to build my platform from the bottom, build the solid ground so I can build it up to the top, take out the middleman and end up having, venues everywhere, having a studio, because I want to move to Atlanta next year. So that's actually why I'm trying to find an assistant intern to run my studio, so he could work here, and all my clients basically become his clients when I work here, and I'm making a passive income. And then, because I'm all about building a foundation. It's like, I'd rather, like, instead of just getting a platinum record here and being like, oh, now because I have a platinum record and I have clout, let me move to Atlanta, let me move to LA. It's like, for me, it's like, I'd rather put roots in that community. I don't want them to be like, who the fuck is this Apollo? You heard that Apollo tracks? Like, they just, you ever heard of him? Like, nah. Like, I heard he has a couple platinum records with Miguel, but other than that, like, he ain't never been out here. So, like, that's why I'm trying to branch out, my early 20s, because I'm 20 years old. Like, I'm trying to really take advantage of my youth and move to places like Atlanta, Philadelphia. I want to move to East Coast, like, New York. Yeah, and I want to move to these places, and I want to build a foundation, live there for a couple of years, build relationships and establishments with people, business partners, and et cetera. And I just really want to do that, build it from the bottom, and, build my platform. And people hear that name, they're like, yeah, bro, like, when Apollo was here, like, he was helping, he was putting on, like, he threw venues for artists, he helped get people who weren't getting opportunities, and he gave them opportunities, Yeah. And that's my goal, is to build a foundation and not just like infiltrate without a fucking background. I want to go in there. We can cuss. You cuss, right? It's
of course.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't know. You feel me? Like YouTube, you know how YouTube be on some weird shit.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, like that's what I want to do, is just build a background. When people like ask around about it, it's like, they have an awareness. They're like, yeah, no, I know his story. Like, he was dope, man. He started from nothing. He started with no handouts, from the bottom. Like, he came up, and then once he did so, he started giving back. And that's what I want to do, is build my roots, not just be that motherfucker who has dough. And it's just like, it's just like all these people, bro. I'm not hating on them or nothing, but it's like, where the hell did the Lil Xan come from? Like, where's his backbone? Where's his stature at? Like, where the fuck he come from? Like,
what's the story?
That's a fact,
where's
bro. Like, look that shit up, bro. Where was he born, bro? Like, people could tap in. I was born in Modesto, bro. Like, you know what I'm
Check
saying?
the Facebook.
Like, yeah, well, my mom has my birth certificate. I'm not no bot that was just created. Like, you feel me? Like, shit like that.
Plans, bro.
That's a fact, bro. Because it's like, where did these people come from? So.
They just got famous out of nowhere for no reason.
Hell yeah.
Off of little songs that are super repetitive and all that.
That's a fact, bro.
I've been feeling that way since middle school. There's always like some new little fact.
We better hope the wrong person don't see this shit.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, Migos is a good ass group, but when they first came out, they were super repetitive. Like, remember Hannah Montana?
Oh,
come on now, like, that song was dope. It got you turned, but it was super repetitive. So now when you listen to it, you're like, where the bars at? What am I listening to? You know what I mean? Where the knowledge and the music at is just not there.
Yeah, no.
Message in.
And that's a fact, bro. It's just like, there is some people like that. It's like, you know, we have these people and then they end up getting murked, bro. It's like we have these people who actually like built a backbone, built an establishment, start becoming a factor, start creating a fan base, you know, like Nipsey, you know?
Yeah.
He was doing this shit back in 2011, even before that, you know, with the mailbox money shit, bro. You know, when you listen to Status Symbol 1, bro, like that's all game right there. And when I peeped that, because he's one of my favorite artists, you know? And that's something I look back on, you know, like late nights, early mornings, like those type of songs, bro. When you listen to it, you know, Bullets Got No Names, like, she's like, when you listen to those songs, you could hear him crying out, like you could hear him, bro. Like even in Racks in the Middle, you know, you could hear his voice crack, bro, when he says, "How you die after 30 something after banging all them years."
Yeah.
Like you hear, bro. You know, Grammy nominated and the Shauna Sand tears, like
it's different,
all this
man.
money, power, fame, and I can't make him reappear, bro. Like you could feel that, bro. Like. And that's the type of shit we're trying to bring back is real rap, bro. Like real spill, like
bring that feel
like
back.
fuck all that shit, bro.
Yeah, bring that feel back.
Cause that's how I keep it. It's like, bro, like we're gonna entertain our youth with wet ass pussy, bro. Like fuck that, that's out, bro. Like fuck a wop, bro. Real shit, bro. Like, and that's how I portray it, bro. And I might make people mad, but it's just like you'd rather listen to that, and it's like a double standard type shit, bro. Yeah. It's like we can listen to wet ass pussy, but we can't have certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like okay, you wanna,
That's the shit that goes. You know, that's what's all right.
Yeah, you feel me?
I guess.
If that's what makes you famous, I don't want to be it. You know?
I'll stay right here.
Yeah, if that's what makes you famous, I'll work at Krabby Jim's. Like,
I'll stay out the way.
Yeah, bro. That's how you know. I'm not doing no weird shit to get on.
We appreciate that, bro.
Let's say if anybody wanted to go ahead and work with you, get in contact with you, like how would they go about that?
You know, it's just reach out. Always reach out. You know, I feel like some people are scared to reach out. Like I don't know, like DM or their pride is too big, and that's a big thing that I did too. Because I would always be nervous to reach out to somebody. It's like, oh, like so and so, you know, or like when you're kind of skeptical about something, you want to read the Yelp reviews, you know. It's just it's kind of like one of those things, you know. It's like if people like hear around or ask around about me, you know, they'll hear what I do, and that's always what I'm just trying to do is. But the best way to contact me, to get back to the question, is Instagram, you know, Snapchat, my phone number, my personal line. If you go outside my sign, I have my phone number there, so you know it's by appointment only, but. Yeah, like I would say word of mouth is like my biggest way of spreading my word though. It's like, you know, just direct contact. People get my number and they call me. They're like, oh, I want to book so and so time. You know, how many hours can I book? You know.
We'll plug the IG for if people are listening. You know, what I mean, they want to go ahead. And
you can tap in with me. I'm a recording studio. The address is 362 Pacific Street, Suite 5. You can find me on all platforms at Above Apollo, ABOVE. APOLLO. So Above Apollo, like the God. Above Apollo. So that's where you can find me on all platforms.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Above Apollo, how'd you come up with that?
Above Apollo, man. So I'll go through like the original names. Oh, that's tough. What? Shout out my boy DC Baby Draco. That's my boy right there. Look, he ugly as shit, boy. But that's my boy. But yeah, so how I came up with the name originally, you know, at first, if people know, like I said, like know my background, I had two names before I had Above Apollo, so I went by Squints. It was a $2 sign, Squints. So, and you know, everybody in the side called me Squints. Everybody there called me Squints. You know, my coach, my old football coach, Coach Quanga. Shout out to Coach Quanga. The first day I ever came to like weights and lifted, I wore green. I wore green, and he was tripping because we're Seaside High, and our rival was Monterey. Right. You know, Battle of the Bay, and it's just like I was wearing green. He made me take it off. He made me take it off right then and there.
They don't play that shit?
He'll rip it off you. Like, he don't care, he'll burn it.
Yeah, he made me take it off. And then once he found out, because my brother's name was Smalls. That was my brother's nickname.
Smalls.
And he was like, wait, Smalls. Yeah. He's like, wait, Smalls, this is your brother right here? He's like, you didn't tell him not to wear green? Like, and I was like, oh, damn. My brother started getting yelled at. Damn. And then he's like, you know what? We're going to call you Squints. He's like, yeah, that's what we're going to call you, Squints. So, like, I always went by Squints. And later down the line, that's what a lot of people call me, like, still, who know me from, like, you know, high school. But still, like, when I got back into it, it's like, when I wanted to post my music on all platforms through, you know, aggregator like DistroKid or TuneCore, I went through Squints, and Squints was taken. I was like, fuck. I was like, that's fucked up. So then, like, I ended up changing. I was like, you know what's something that's like, you know, I want to change it. So I was like, you know what's something that's like still true to me, like whatever's me. And I was like, you know what, okay, I'm gonna come up with Nate Lowe. So Nate Lowe was, you know, my first name and the 2 initials of my last name. So that's why I came up with that. And then, like, to me, like, my music that I was making was corny as fuck. Like, I was making corny ass music. And if you guys are out there, bro,
right there.
then that's a fact, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys are out there, like, just keep going with your shit, bro, because you'll get better, bro. And, like, but, like, even, like, bro, like, just be humble about your shit, bro, because your shit probably sounds like ass right now. When you come back, when you listen to your shit 5 years from now, you'll be like, fuck, bro.
Right, it was like,
Why did I do that?
why did I
Yeah,
even think
why did I
about
do that shit, bro?
Like, fuck.
Fact, bro, and that's what
Hell
I'm
yeah,
saying. Like,
that's how I
right
feel
now,
about
this podcast, when I'm saying on this podcast, bro, when I become 23, 24, 25, I'm like, damn, why did I say that, bro? Like,
Well, I don't even think like that. No more.
yeah, it's a fact,
Yeah.
bro. And that's what.
I be feeling like that about like last month or
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh, exactly.
So
Yesterday,
I
that was
think with
easy.
that, I
Yesterday.
think why I
was
wanted
a
to change my name was because I was like, I thought about a longevity standpoint. I was like, you know, what's something that's like, you know, like you get something, it's just like, what is it? It's like it's a certain identity. I didn't want to be known as my alias. I didn't want to be known as like, you know, Nate Lowe. I didn't want to be known as that person that was too close to my name. I wanted to create a alter ego, like a persona, like something above who I am, like above life type shit. And that's what I became when above Apollo. Like I was just like, you know, it's like above, and it's like Apollo is like a god, and it's also like you know, Apollo 13. It's like outer space and NASA, and a huge reason why I came up with it because a constant trend is outer space. Like I don't know if you guys seen that. Like a constant trend since I was little, like has been like NASA, like the stars, like
Everybody
the
wants to be
sun.
an
Everything
astronaut.
wants to be like astronaut. Everything, and like I was like, there's a lot to play with it. And then I was like, you know, when I thought about longevity, it's like this is what I want this to be my last name change. You know, and it's just like I was like, you know, what's something that could be bigger, that something that people could grasp onto, you know, that people could really like buy into. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with the above Apollo, and that's how I came up with that, was because the Apollo is too basic though. But I wanted to make a little, you know, with the AA above Apollo, and then there's also with the B and the P. It's also like, you know, when you look at it, it's like the B is upwards and the P is backwards, so it's like a B backwards.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to play. I wanted to play around that, and I wanted something to be like. And it was something to forget who I was. Not because I didn't like what it was or how people portrayed me, but it was like, you know, it was always that kid who played football. You know, that kid that kid that was always getting in trouble, running, you know, doing some stupid shit. Like that's, and I wanted to escape from that. And I wanted people to be like, you know, what's up, Apollo? So when I hear that, it's like, damn, it's like I escaped from that shit. And it's a completely different person. It's my, it's my alter ego. It's kind of like people didn't, you know, people either fucked with Nate or Squints or whatever. But, you know, this is Apollo. When people started calling me that in San Diego, it's like, oh, what's good, Apollo? How much is it for a studio session? It was something to kind of get away from that. That's a different image. So
That's good, man.
just reprinting, my brand.
Feel it.
That's a good ass nickname right there too.
Yeah, it's like a, you know, AP for, you know, Apollo. People just call me Apollo, or, you know, above Apollo. And then my studio is called Apollo Tracks. Shout out to my mentor, RIP to my mentor. But yeah, he actually gave me my name for my studio, and that's what I went with it. You know, after he died, you know, I wouldn't be half the man I am without him. You know, he raised me in this shit, and when he died, that shit broke me, man. But you know, RIP to James Henry. You know, if you guys listen to this and you know who that is, he was a great man. But yeah, he gave me all the game, all the roots. You know, it was so funny because he didn't teach me a damn thing about music, and here I am doing music. That's a fact. Like he was a recording engineer, had over 70 gold and platinum records. He just gave me life lessons that you could apply to any situation. Never taught me shit about music.
Yeah, maybe he was
Never
just
taught me
teaching
shit
you-
about
yeah.
music, bruh. He didn't teach me how to EQ, how to compress a vocal, how to use gear. He just taught me how to be you know, a genuine person. And that's what he taught me, bro. Like he taught me how to react in a situation where it was like, I'm gonna teach you this life lesson, and you could apply it to music. You just got to be smart enough to pick up on it. That's you know, with him, above Apollo wouldn't have been created. Apollo Tracks, this whole little brand wouldn't have never been created. So. Yeah, that's what got my name going, and you know, him too, because I was Nate Lowe when I first met him.
Okay.
You know, so like it was just a whole branding aspect, and he liked my whole thing. And he was a really big businessman, you know, in the '80s. He was a really huge. I would guess you say, you know, he worked with people like LL Cool J, like Mama Said Knock You Out. He worked with Prince. He worked with
Damn, that's crazy.
yeah, he worked with Heavy D and the Boys. Like he worked with like some big heavy hitters. He
Shit,
helped.
you don't
them
even gotta say no names after that,
Yeah,
bro.
you don't say no names after
fuck.
Prince.
Yeah,
Damn
no,
near the
like,
greatest
yeah.
musician of
Yeah,
all
you can check his
time.
stats,
Straight
bro.
up.
You can check his stats, bro. Like you look at YouTube, you'll see Jay Henry, mixing engineer, you know, co-producer. Like you'll see it under the little,
Yeah, the
the little
credits.
YouTube tag. I was like,
Yeah.
and when I went to his crib, because I got blessed enough to, you know, to get to his crib, like. You know, I started getting really close to him. Like, I saw all his platinum records for, you know, LL Cool J. And fun fact, LL Cool J is the only artist he worked on more than one tape with. He said he got annoyed with artists. Like, after one album, just like, you know, just doing an album. Because artists are hard to work
Picky.
with.
They're fucking picky
Yeah.
as fuck.
Yeah, and he's like, the only artist I could work on more than one album with was LL Cool J. And that was the only person. He helped make him. He was like, yeah, he's like, you mean Todd? Like, because that's his real
He said,
name.
like,
I was like,
Todd.
oh, damn. Like, yeah. And there was one time I was in class and LL Cool J called him. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, like, wishing him a happy birthday and shit.
That's crazy.
I was like, what the?
That's nuts.
But yeah,
man.
and that was my mentor, man. And you know, shout out to him and what he did at Southwestern College in the recording arts program. He gave me my first internship to be in a real studio, you know. And that's who gave me the opportunity. He believed in me when nobody did.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Rest in
Dope.
peace to
I'm, more,
that man,
I'm
man.
more than sure you're making him proud right now. And then you know what I mean. And you definitely you're in the right steps.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, more in the right steps. Well, for sure. Well, let's get to these topics, shall we?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's do it.
For sure, for sure. So I think what I want to kick off first, more importantly, is the International Women's Day. Shout out to all the women out there in the world.
Shout
out to
out.
all the mothers, all the sisters, all the aunties. You know what I mean? The ones that really step up to the
Wouldn't be
plate.
here without 'em,
Yeah, we
man.
wouldn't be here without them. So man, and especially you know what I mean, the ones becoming mothers, the ones unfortunate that couldn't even have kids, man. Like women are just a different type of. They just have a different type of strength than us. Like I don't think we would be able to handle some shit that they go through.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
a fact.
yeah. So, shout out to all y'all. Love y'all. Y'all make the world.
Love y'all.
Yeah. Anybody else want to add on to it?
I love y'all.
That's it.
Yeah,
he said it all.
We need y'all. We need a
He
love
said
from
it
y'all.
all.
So, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, fuck a day. It's National Women's Day every day. You heard me?
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's
Gotta
what I'm
send your
saying,
woman
bro.
all
Shout
the
out to
time.
my mom. You know, shout out to the real woman out there.
Yeah.
That's how I gotta peep it, bro. You gotta treat a woman as if it's a Women's Day every single day.
Yeah.
You know.
Bring them flowers. Make sure they happy every single day you can. Man.
Exactly. That's how I gotta. You gotta peep like that. So it's Women's Day. It's still Women's Day today. Fuck it.
Yeah. Still Women's Day. Exactly. Exactly. And another day that it is also a Biggie Day. Today, 24 years ago, is when he passed away.
Shoot.
So man, so rest in peace to one of the goats, one of the greatest of all times, man.
R.I.P.
In my personal opinion, the best flow. Man, Biggie was just, you know what I mean? He was just one of those guys that was coming up, man.
You can't beat
Like,
that New York flow, man.
yeah, you
That-
can't. You can't.
That East Coast flow, man, it's like bar for bar. You actually listen
Yeah.
to what they saying, so you can relate to what they saying, really.
The storytelling was crazy too.
Man.
I think Biggie was the artist that got me into like actually peeping word for word and bar, and he always had the that rhythm going with it. Whereas compared to like Tupac, it was more like he's like the Martin Luther King rat. He's like he's
Yeah.
screaming, he's putting
Yeah,
that
you
effort.
feel his aura.
He's telling the
Yeah,
pain.
exactly.
You know what I mean? But Biggie, he's just different aura when you listen to him. It's just more hip hop. It's like okay. I'm in the rhythm with him right now. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
you feel like they're right there. You know what I'm saying? So
His
yeah,
rhythm, the way.
Biggie's
yeah.
definitely his style is for sure golden for sure, man.
Just the way he would switch off the rhymes, just like.
Yeah.
I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8, 38, 9, 9s, 10 Mac 10s, the shit's never end. Like,
Man.
That's what I'm saying.
Just sharp and
Like, where does that come from, yo? Like,
yeah.
And he
Like,
paints pictures. When an artist can paint pictures in my head, you're already one to me, straight up. Like if you could paint a picture to me, and I'm picturing the scene moving through as you're rapping,
Man.
oh, it's game
It's
over,
like
man.
you watching the whole movie in
Yeah.
3 minutes,
Straight
man.
up, no,
a
that's
fact.
real. That's real.
Hey,
man.
Biggie will get you in a car accident if you paying attention to his words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His
Listen to 10
lyricism.
crack commandments while driving. I don't know about that.
That's fact. He
You
said,
fucking end up having crack in
dangerous.
your pocket the next day, like, oh shit, I have to listen to 10 crack commandments and shit.
Yeah.
But speaking of movies, man, they recently just released a Biggie documentary on Netflix. It's called I Got a Story to Tell, which is kind of, you know what I mean? Coincidence to what he's saying, the storytelling. So, man, I don't know if you guys repeat that, but that shit's really,
No, I haven't
really
seen
good.
it yet.
That
I don't
shit's
really be
really
watching
good.
TV. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I feel it, but that shit's really, really good. They really got into more detail of Biggie Smalls and like the way he grew up in the neighborhood, his friends. They got into his homies, growing up. They interviewed, you know, the people like he sold drugs with, the people he was rapping with first.
Okay.
The part of his original crew. They even got more into his mom's life, which was
That's
really
dope.
interesting as well. So
All the
they
Junior Mafia.
Yeah, they got into the Junior Mafia. He was actually he was actually a fucking dope ass singer, believe it or not. He was more an R&B guy and shit, and he
I
loved
can
to
see
sing.
that. I can see
Oh,
that.
he probably grew up in the church.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah, he went to Catholic school and shit.
Yeah.
And like there's some footage that's never been released of like him singing, and he could hit some motherfucking notes, man. He could hit some motherfucking notes.
I could see it.
Yeah, and what I really liked about it is that they didn't really get into the whole Biggie and Pac situation. Of course, they sprinkled Tupac in there,
Yeah.
but they made it
yeah.
more about the Biggie, more about his kind of upbringing and, you know, how he met Puff. You know what I mean? When he first got signed or whatever, like he thought he was gonna make it or not make it. So it's real interesting,
I
man.
think that's always a good thing, you know, when they keep it about the person's legacy, opposed to trying to do something to taint his legacy.
Yeah.
Because I hate it when people do that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of people just focus on the drama instead of
Yeah,
like
you
the
feel me?
actual
Like,
magic that was being made.
they can't even remember when Pac and Biggie were friends. They
Man,
can't
I
even
know.
remember when
Like,
Pac and Biggie were
don't
doing
we-
something great together.
Yeah.
You know?
What was that movie Notorious B.I.G. when they had the scene of them like being cool before they got shot up?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they focus on like the little drama and shit, but they didn't focus on the time before where they was like super cool and
Yeah.
relaxing and kicking it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's facts.
It's true.
exactly.
Man, R.I.P. Biggie, man.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
R.I.P.
What I really liked about it too was they weren't just interviewing random ass rappers about Biggie. They're
Oh,
actually
yeah.
interviewing the people that actually knew him, like his mom, like Lil C's, the homies they grew up with.
People that were close to
Yeah,
him.
close to him. They didn't get Lil Kim on there, which was kind of weird. I was expecting Lil Kim in there, but she wasn't in there.
Yeah.
But they got Faith in there though.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Maybe another thing trying to avoid all that little drama, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
trying to avoid-
Might have cut some
Could
out
be.
on the documentary on accident or something.
yeah, but you know, respectfully though, maybe she had her reasons
She
not
would
to
have
be
popped
there.
in like this. Well, like,
Hey man, it's International Women's Day. Come on. Shout out
oh
to
shit,
Lil
I'm
Kim.
sorry about
That's a
that.
little
Sorry.
kid.
No, I was showing love. I respect
What's her
it.
dance moves, man? Come on.
Little kid.
So the UFC recap, man. Well, I think I seen it. That shit was straight fire. That
I
shit
work
was
at
straight fire.
Buffalo, bro. So like that entire fight, there was no orders at all. Like
Nice.
everybody
For
was
real?
watching. So like, since there are no orders, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go out there and watch TV. You know what I mean? I'm
Oh,
watching
so
the
the
fight. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that. I wish I could, bro. But man,
The little baby cup.
now we was watching. I'm just like, dude, like I really wish Arasanya would have won that though. You know what
See,
I mean?
that was my disappointment for the night right
Yo,
there, bro.
man. But I was happy when I saw Mana Nunez knock that one chick out, man. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, kind of expected.
I mean,
It was expected.
it was just
She's
something
the
of the
goat.
highlight of the night, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It was something that happened because, like, I already knew that wasn't going to happen with Adesanya. Like,
That's
by the
facts.
time, you know, he probably got to the second or third fight, he was already out of energy. He couldn't really move.
But you
know what I
gotta
mean?
you gotta peep it though, you know. A lot of people forget he went up a weight class. You try,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like he like this is how I put it. You feel me? Israel Adesanya, you know, the Style Blender is one of the best fighters of our generation.
Almost definitely.
And how we got to look at it is, you know, he did something. He took a chance, and that's
Yeah,
that's something
was
that
the
I
first
really.
loss, man.
Cause you got to think that's like Max Holloway coming up to fight Dustin Poirier at 155.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Max Holloway's still great,
Yeah.
even though he got his ass whooped by Dustin Poirier at 155. You feel me? It's love for
Took
by, you know.
that.
Yeah.
But
What caught me off guard was, like, I thought he would have more stamina, you know what I mean? Coming from a lower weight class.
Not,
being-
but the thing is, you know, when you're fighting somebody, you know, I just know because my brother used to box. Is like when you're fighting, you know, you walk around at 175 and you cut to 135. You feel me? You're gonna be up there. But when you got to gain weight,
Yeah.
you're not even used to your body weight.
I
You're
mean,
not
like,
even used
he
to
didn't even
fighting
gain
at.
that much, though. The thing is,
But
like,
he weighed in at 205, I believe, right? He weighed in
I
around
thought it was
205.
I thought it was 205.
Yeah,
Okay.
and like he
I mean, I
normally
showed
weighs
that
in
he-
at 185.
185.
You're fighting at a, you
what,
know,
20
that's
more
that's a
pounds?
20
Yeah.
pound.
Yeah.
That's
Plus
like
he showed up eating pizza. Like, come on, man.
But that's what I'm saying is like there's a huge factor because he's never interacted with his body in a
Yeah.
ring for 5
I
rounds.
don't really
like that.
believe he was really eating pizza. In my head, I was I'm hoping he's doing this for comedy, like when Masvidal. Well, I mean, the Masvidal situation is different. He ate it after the, you know,
Yeah,
you know
after
what I'm
he-
saying? But when I seen the pizza, I was like, okay, he's trying to pull the Masvidal card, but before the fight, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but I was like, I don't
is,
think.
he started that before Masvidal. Yeah,
Did he?
Because when
With
he
the
was
pizza?
younger, he did that before. There's 2 pictures of him, like when he was
Oh,
young,
for real?
getting into it first.
Oh,
he showed up
okay.
eating a big ass box of pizza, man. Like, it's
Oh,
not his
okay,
first
okay.
time.
Okay, so you put me onto that. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Hey, Giannis is a badass though.
Oh, hey, most definitely. He got
He's a
hands for
badass,
sure.
man.
Oh, yeah.
he's just really strategic, you know. And I knew that was going to be a tough fight for Adesanya too, because just you know, Paulo Costa in the past fight, you know, he's not really as strategic as Adesanya, you know. So I knew that was going to be, you know, either Adesanya's going to beat his ass or Paulo Costa, but I knew this was going to be a struggle fight for him because it had to be a trade for trade.
Straight up.
And he was, you know, it was one of those, you know, he's going to come back. He's still the He's still the welterweight champ.
Yeah, he still is.
Yeah,
You can't lose that
you know,
belt.
he's still got some really good fights that he can come up, but he's not going to fight Jon Jones. I really personally want to see Jon Jones.
That's why I expected him to win, because like, yo, if he wins him, then he's going for Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But watching the whole fight, like once they hit the third round, I was like, I don't know.
That's what hurt me, man, because I really wanted to see that fight.
It would have been a great fight.
I still want to see that fight.
So do
you
I,
got to
man.
think, because you know, personality traits and fighting styles make fights.
Yeah.
And I think you know, Jan versus the style blender, I think you kind of put him at a disadvantage. But if you get somebody like Jon Jones, because Jon Jones is a go-getter.
Because you guys remember when Jones was coming up and he was on
Jones
the
is a
street?
go-getter.
He was one of my favorite fighters when he was coming up. I was like, damn.
And style blender's a go-getter as well, but he's also a defensive.
Yeah.
Offensive fighter. He's a defensive counter
They
fighter.
give me a very similar vibe,
Like
though. Like the
McGregor.
moment that ring starts, it's like,
You know?
damn.
So who do y'all want to see him fight next?
Who?
Adesanya.
Adesanya. I mean, like we said, I think I would love to see him fight Jon Jones.
You know, it's just a
ready
hard
for
thing
it.
to make. You know,
But
it's a hard fight to make after
and
a
Jones
loss.
is right now just playing with him. You know, they're doing their little tweets and whatnot, but it's like,
I feel like he's gonna wait on it. You know what I mean? Just so he can get used to that weight class. Because I feel like if he goes into that right now trying to get Jon Jones, he's gonna get fucked up straight up. You know what I mean? Because like he said, like he's not used to that weight yet. So I think he needs at least another fight or two.
Oh, you think he's gonna try to fight somebody else in the same weight class?
I mean,
I think he's gonna go back down.
I think he has to go back down. I think he's going to go back down, but he will go back up after he maintains the belt and defends the belt. Because I feel like as a champion nowadays, you know, you don't want to be like Conor and get a strip. So it's like one of those things.
Do it again.
Yeah, because the next fight I want to see, I mean, this is completely off topic. I really want to see McGregor versus either Tony Ferguson or Justin Gaethje.
Oh, really?
I want to see Conor
The
McGregor
Ferguson
versus
shit's
Justin.
supposed
You
to
know,
happen.
then I want to
Gaethje
see Dustin Poirier versus Bobos or no, what's his name?
Oliveira?
Oliveira. Yeah.
Oliveira.
I want to see that fight. You know, Conor. Personally, I know this is like me being biased, bro, because I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan. But I want to see Conor versus Dustin again. But theoretically,
not for the belt, though.
Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah, it's wrong for the belt.
Yeah.
But because I want to see Conor get in the ring with Khabib again.
Oh, that'd be
You know,
amazing.
I just think as somebody, you know, like what Conor McGregor did for the sport, I think people are writing him off. You know, writing him off as like, people got to forget, like, he was the first double champ. Like Israel Adesanya, that's how hard it is.
Mm-hmm.
Israel Adesanya tried to do it and he couldn't. And McGregor was able to do it in a time in which he beat what, Jose Aldo in his
in
prime?
like 10 seconds, right?
He beat Jose Aldo, the most feared man on the earth at that time in that weight class. He was undefeated for what, 8 years?
He was.
He didn't even lose a round for like 8 years.
Yeah. I think,
You know, that was the
something
best
like
of the best, you know, because he beat everybody in that. You know, he beat Chad Mendez. He beat all those
He beat Max
people.
Holloway, too.
He whooped Max.
Yeah.
He whooped up
He
Dustin
almost broke his
Poirier.
arm.
He fucked up Dustin Poirier.
Yep.
And that's why I would love to see Conor McGregor, you know, come back on that kind of like.
I'd like
you
to
know?
see it more near the end of the year, if anything, just because just like we were saying, like it's not the right move for the belt. Because McGregor did just relax and then come back, so you just put him in there. There's fighters back there that are like, wait, hold on, bro. Like, I've been putting in work while he was chilling, so why does he just get the? You know
but
what
I think
saying?
if you give him one of those fights, you know, you give because Dustin Poirier definitely deserves the title.
Yeah.
He deserves the title.
Oh, he does for sure.
Because Khabib, it's not right to do that to Dustin. Dustin's he's a tough dude.
He's been coming up. Yeah.
You know, and that's one of those things where it's like I think. You know, for Dustin's sake, you know, and his image, I don't think it's right for them to give him the Conor rematch. But I think he needs to fight Oliveira, you know, for the title. Yeah. I don't think that. Who's that other dude that knocked out the British guy? He's not British, but he just came from I'm trying to think. Dan Hooker. He knocked out Dan Hooker.
Oh, fucking Michael Chandler.
He doesn't deserve the title chance right now.
He just came in.
Yeah, because I think what would be a dope fight for for Conor to get back in that sense, so have a title fight in like whatever fight week, or I think it's June. Have Conor fight in fight week, and then have Conor fight in the title if he wins that fight in December.
Yeah. Like still keep him in the bubble.
Yeah, because Ferguson versus Conor would be that'd be a duel.
Because
I think Conor would fuck.
I think it'd be cool because we'll see where Ferguson.
That's what we've been waiting
at.
on, though, bro.
We'll see where Ferguson is at if he faces McGregor, because Ferguson's on he has 2 losses on a row, so he needs to bounce back.
Conor won.
No, I'm talking about Ferguson.
Yeah, he got his ass.
Because he got his ass beat by Gaethje and then lost to Oliveira, right?
But Conor versus Gaethje would be a really good fight too.
No, it would. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I think Conor would fuck up Gaethje.
Yeah,
you think so?
I think so.
Wait, so you talking about like an old Conor or like a newer Conor? Like
well, no, I'm saying how Conor fought against Dustin, bro. Conor was you saw how Conor was fighting against Dustin, bro.
Yeah, I mean
that was primetime Conor, bro. It's just like
you talking about his recent one?
Yeah, his recent fight. Like
because he came in nice and relaxed. He wasn't like that crazy ass dude that he used to be. You know what I'm saying?
If you see that footage, bro, if you see the highlights and shit, it's just Dustin played it very smart and he picked apart one little thing. But Conor was fucking him up on his counters. Like he had his timing down. He was smooth. His energy. It's just he got it.
He fucked the leg up.
Yeah, he got that.
I also think he gets tired easily. You saw that
fight?
Yeah, it was fucked.
Yeah, but I also think Conor gets like really tired so easily. Like if you look fights in his past, like once it hits third round, he is just
the stamina's not there.
He is out so
but I think
much.
that's what I think. Gaethje wouldn't be able to be strategic about that. I feel like he would buy into Conor's game.
You know what I mean?
See, Tony Ferguson and Conor would be a really good fight.
Yeah.
Because it could either go both ways. Conor could knock him out in the first 3 rounds, or Tony, because he's a stamina beast. He could take him out, draw him into the last two rounds.
Yeah, those are fights they got to make, man.
What's the next?
They gotta listen to the fan fights, man. We're like the main ones that know.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? But they're more into the business, and it's like, fuck. Like, if we can make some fun fights.
Business-wise, they're probably gonna do Conor versus Dustin for the title for a fact.
Just for money-wise,
money.
Yeah,
bro, they're gonna do that.
Like, I'd watch it, but I'd hate to see it for the belt. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, nah, man, you don't.
Yeah, but I think Dustin. I mean, if Khabib comes back, Dustin versus Khabib would be a really good fight. Dustin is the most improved fighter I think I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Dustin was looking.
He's only improving.
And people forget that. Like they're like, "Oh, Conor got his ass beat" or whatever. I'm like, bro, but you got to think, Dustin Poirier is a beast, man. Dustin Poirier has fucked up a lot of the top contenders in that division.
True.
He's a beast, man.
Yeah, and his only loss. I mean, his recent loss was the one to Khabib. So I mean, it's like that just shows.
But
you
he's beaten Gaethje.
He's beat him.
He's beat. No, he didn't.
He beat Dan Hooker.
Yeah, he whooped up Dan. He whooped up Dan Hooker.
Those were beautiful 5 rounds of just straight war between them. But damn.
Are y'all ready for this next UFC fight night on the 27th though?
Yeah, Ortega versus Volkanovski, or
what you call it? We got that. You got Tyron Woodley coming back, and you got Francis Ngannou coming in the heavyweight.
Oh, no.
I'm trying to see O'Malley fight. O'Malley. I'm trying to see O'Malley.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley.
I see his last loss wasn't expected from me either.
Yeah, against Cheetah Vera.
Yeah,
man. That was definitely that was one of those fights, and
what happened? What did he break? He fucked up
his
leg,
right? Yeah, it started dragging. Like
it was so
when he would step on it.
Yeah, it was so.
You would feel it. It was just.
I can't see shit like that, bro.
I was really excited for Sean O'Malley at first.
So was I.
I thought he was gonna be because you got to think about it.
Bro.
There wasn't that Conor McGregor star factor for any other UFC fighter, and Sean O'Malley was like that one person who was bringing it. I was like, that's dope. Because even Conor McGregor, after he had kids and went to boxing and touched a lot of money, he hasn't been the same Conor as far as how much shit he talks and. I missed that Conor.
Yeah, I think he was also.
The last time you saw him was with Floyd. With Floyd talking that shit. Oh, Khabib too.
Yeah. No, Khabib was the last time because I think he fought Khabib after
Floyd.
Yeah. I would love to see Conor back in boxing though against Manny Pacquiao.
I thought he was supposed to come out and mess with what's his name, Jake Paul and him and all that crap.
Jake Paul was just trying to start funk with everyone.
I know because he did that. He brought up Floyd Mayweather and. Right after, I think Floyd Mayweather posted out in the gym working out. He was like, "What's up?" Then like, "What's happening?"
Stick to basketball players, right?
Exactly. Oh man.
Hey, where were you at during the Mayweather and Conor fight?
Oh, I was with Pops, man. That shit was wild, man. We ordered on pay-per-view and everything, and my dad was just like, "Bro, I don't think this is worth it at this point." You know what I mean? Like right after that first round, my dad was like, all he's gonna do is run the entire fight, so what's the point of me buying this shit, you know what I mean? But I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still a good fight-ish, sorta, you know what I mean? But I don't think
it was weird, man.
Yeah, I don't think he should come back to the boxing match at all.
Do you think Floyd should come into the to the UFC?
Oh hell nah, he get fucked up bad, bro. Like
Yeah.
I feel like even with training after like for a week or two.
We talking about
like,
Floyd?
just-
We talking about Floyd right
Yeah,
now?
Floyd coming
Okay,
into the MMA world, like I could
Cause
even
I seen a little clip of him, like, you know what I mean, inside the octagon, you know what I mean, he was, you know what I mean.
yeah, like
He's
if
doing his
anything,
It's a
You know
whole
what I mean?
different. It's
yeah,
a
if
whole
anything, if
different
I want to
thing.
see any transition, I want to see what's his name, Masvidal come to boxing because he got
Yeah.
hands, bro.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's a
Masvidal's
good striker.
at boxing. He's
You know what I
good.
mean? So
I think he's talked about it too, because I think there's been a couple of interviews where he's talking about like talking with Canelo. He's
Yeah.
talking with I forgot the other dude's name.
Canelo's
Robert
great.
something. I don't know if it's a legend. So like he's just you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what
his
you're saying.
boxing skills are pretty good. So it would be nice to see him in there
Most
actually.
definitely.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a whole different sport, man. Like Floyd going into the octagon, it'd be too different. Like we
Yeah.
seen when McGregor went with him. If you notice, he was trying to throw like elbows in the
Yeah.
boxing match. That goes to show you, like, bro, you can't do elbows in boxing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
So
just-
vice versa, if
he
Floyd
wasn't
would go
used to
in
it.
there, like he might not be expecting kicks, although he might
most
train
definitely not,
to
yeah.
see them. He might not see them when it's you know what I mean, when it's
I feel
game
like
time type of
I
thing.
feel like if anything, like if he were to come into the octagon,
Yeah.
people would tear up his core. You know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah.
feel like he wouldn't
Yeah.
expect it. You know
Oh,
what I
of
mean?
course.
Like
You know
of
what I
course they'd
think?
be expecting the punches
Bruh,
to the
they're
core,
gonna be
but them
they're gonna try to
kicks,
beat his
oh,
legs,
man.
his
Oh,
ribs,
man.
like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he's a fast dude and all he does is run around. You know what I'm saying? So of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel it, man. I feel it. Shit, man. We go with one of these next topics over here.
Pepe
What do
Le
we got?
Pew.
What do we got?
We were talking about
Pepe
Pepe
Le
Le
Pew.
Pew, bro.
Y'all ready? Pepe Le Pew canceled. Talk to us. What's this about, Miggy?
I think I don't know what the fuck this is about. I think it's a cartoon that got
One of the
canceled. It's like,
cartoons,
yeah,
yeah.
like old school cartoon that got canceled.
they
I don't
got
know.
canceled. Well,
This
they're canceling
Generation
They're
Z.
canceling everything,
Yeah,
like Bugs
everything.
Bunny and everything. The old Bugs
Yeah.
Bunny from Space Jam.
Oh,
They
really?
kept, did you see the new one?
No.
She was completely different, bro.
Oh, yeah,
They
man.
changed
The
her
body,
up completely. Like they're just changing everything
yeah,
right
man.
now.
The
It
body ain't
sucks.
banging no more.
Yeah, for real.
What? Damn.
About the bunny though?
Hey,
So,
you,
my
hey,
first
you
crush?
knew it. You knew it.
Nah, I was like, I mean, I see it's a
everybody
bunny.
knew
Maybe,
everybody.
maybe if it was Jessica Rabbit, I could see it. You know what I mean? Wrong bunny.
Wrong bunny, huh?
This man.
Shit.
I don't know. I think they're going too far with this shit, bro. Like, next week they're gonna cancel who?
I don't know.
Supposedly,
What's-
Generation Z was trying to cancel.
We are Generation Z.
I
Nigga.
thought we were millennials.
They
fool.
might start
Shit,
canceling
I'm the
Spider-Man.
millennial.
Watch, they're gonna cancel Spider-Man because apparently
Well,
he wearing
I'm
tights.
talking
and then they're gonna
Generation
cancel
Z as
Batman
those
'cause
group of
they're-
people that are trying to
They,
cancel.
they're coming. They're
Oh.
coming with.
I think
The
Generation Z is
littlest
people
reasons
born after
they'll switch
2000.
everything. It
Yeah.
sucks, man.
But
Because like,
Were
I
those
wish-
Twitters like the posts? Were those
Yeah.
real?
oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like people saying, "Oh, you should cancel this person because of this," but they had that snitch from Reese's. I thought that was funny as fuck.
For me- Oh, I know.
I don't know his name, but he would always go tell the
Yeah,
campus
no,
monitor.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a-
they just made fun of it. Yeah, because like I mean, at this point, like, all right, now what?
What you
Like-
gonna do, man? Like, there's nothing you can do from this point on.
But
Yeah.
that was funny as fuck.
Man, we might get canceled for some shit, bro. Like,
Probably.
I'm surprised we're
On
not already.
something little, bro. It's just
Yeah.
like you say one little thing and they just trying to come after your
Right.
throat, bro. It is
One bad joke,
Man.
one little like mistake. Like,
No,
Nah, what's here? What's up? I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, we talking
I'm back
about-
and I'm better than ever.
Pe-
Talking about,
Pepe Le
Pepe
Pew getting canceled.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I think keep it a bug. I'm not even. I don't even know.
No man, just everything getting canceled, bro.
Yeah.
Like if we had phones, well, we had phones, but like if there was like social media like that
Back in the day.
back
it'd
like
been
in
crazy.
middle school, bro.
Come on, man.
Fuck.
Imagine cracking the 80s with telephones, bro, with cell phones. That shit would have been ridiculous.
They had
Yeah.
pagers and shit.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong,
Pagers,
pagers, yeah, they got the job done. But imagine just having an iPhone and like
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
able to show them like, hey, this is what I got. Here you go. Like that's
That's
a
crazy.
whole bunch of shit coming towards your way. You know what I mean? Like extra money and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's,
Look,
man.
Austin Powers is one of my favorite movies, bruh.
They're gonna
And-
cancel
and,
that.
and the
shit
way he
too.
goes about like bitches be like, "Do I make you horny, baby?" Like
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, "Oh well, he's canceled. That's
Yeah.
rape culture." You know what I mean? He's like
yeah.
throwing himself at him. Like it's
Yeah,
I'm
but to
surprised
keep
they ain't
it.
brought
But
that up
isn't
yet,
that from
They will.
England?
Yeah.
They
Well,
will, but
is
yeah.
it?
Isn't he from like England? Like those movies are
Over
from
a
out
movie.
from England.
Over a movie.
he
Yeah.
played
But
from
it, yeah,
England.
but
I
it
think
keeps
he's
so.
Canadian.
though. Like I don't know, all this little shit be like getting canceled and shit. It's like I said, bro. Like I don't really speak on it, but it's like you'll cancel this. But Wet Ass Pussy will be the number
one song, bro.
You heard me,
Straight
bro?
up.
It's just like, you
Yep.
know what? Fuck this little weird ass generation, bro. And there's a bunch of weird ass goofies in
Oh
the
my
top, the
God.
1% oppressing the 99. And that's just what we got to deal with. Like I said, fuck them all. Fuck the industry. It's just something. That's just
Yeah.
something. That's how I feel,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
And it's just like something like that. It's just like you know, you know, you could ban. I'm not saying Dr. Seuss wasn't racist or nothing.
Yeah.
You feel me? He was low key. He was the only one. He was
Shit,
like,
old times,
but what
but
I'm
I was
saying,
gonna
that's
Yeah.
old times. Like he's narrating, like in books, like what he's seeing in his era.
Yeah.
So I
That's
really
just-
didn't take it like. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and it's
That's the
just
environment.
this soft ass generation.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
soft ass
Yeah.
generation.
Things
My
change,
generation.
man. Yeah,
This
My
soft ass
generation.
generation that's allowing,
Oh,
you know, to
shit.
get it, because the shit like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, bro, like
Yeah.
if you guys are watching this, I'm not condoning him. I don't really, you know, I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
yeah.
know enough
Yeah.
about it. I just know as a child, I grew up listening to that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And you know, same with the Magic Treehouse books and all that shit. It's just like, when are we gonna put a stop on it? When are we gonna be like, why is it okay for you to talk about popping perkies with so and so in the back of the bathroom, but bro talking about some shit, green eggs and ham, and now it's
canceled.
considered
Yeah.
canceled. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm also saying if there's gonna be that double standard, why is wet ass
Yeah.
pussy accepted,
Yeah.
but we can't?
yeah, like
Yeah.
I find it crazy because like
Feel
between
like
me and my
double
brothers and everything, it's like a 12-year gap. You know what I'm saying? So like it's fat, but I grew up on their generations and shit. So I
Yeah,
listen to like Biggie, Big Pun, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
like
shout out to Big Pun.
I come out here and I'm just
Yeah.
like, dude, like who's Lil Xan, who's Lil Dick? I mean, Lil Dicky, don't get me wrong, he got bars.
Hey, he hella
and it's
funny,
funny
though.
as shit.
Yeah,
But
The
like,
show's funny.
at the time, it's just
Yeah,
like, damn,
Dave-
you making
They only
money
had one
out of it, so
season.
I see
Yeah,
your hustle,
yeah.
but why? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's true.
I dare you to come back in the 80s and 90s and try that shit then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's just-
I
Oh,
yeah,
guarantee
man,
you
they
got
weren't playing that
killed,
game.
bro.
They weren't playing
Yeah.
no games.
Different
we gotta
times.
It
we
was
gotta
real-
cut this
it
shit
was
out,
real
man.
street dudes back then, man.
We gotta cut this shit out, and like I don't know if you've seen it, bro, but like I don't know if you've seen this, but like just there's just so much shit that gets canceled, and it's just like, bro, there's such a double standard, and it's just like, when are we gonna allow? When are we just when is enough of enough? Like when all of our freedoms as humans, as what we speak, are gonna get oppressed
Self-expression.
by our own people. It's gotten
We're
so
becoming-
bad, bro, that
what
we're
is it, North
oppressing
Korea?
ourselves, bro.
I mean, you already see it on YouTube. YouTube
Yeah, bro,
don't
like,
share the
you
shit that we
can't-
want to see.
Instagram will censor your post if you say COVID's fake.
Straight up.
Oh, man.
If masks don't work, they'll go ahead and take your shit down.
Yeah,
like,
no, real shit. You'll
man.
see, CDC guideline. Make sure you see and you're aware of your post.
Yep.
Like, bro,
Man,
yeah.
look. For anybody watching, bro, if they have to put that under your post, it's kind of like one of those things when the CIA does all this shit, bro. Like the CIA wouldn't be so quick to shut some shit down unless it was true, bro.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking fact.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm trying to go on the P Hub and it's saying, "Are you sure you're 18 years old, bro?"
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Or a smoke shop online. You sure you're 21? You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Like,
fuck.
That shit gotta be dead.
Yeah, they
He
really
said the
fucking
P. Hey,
I'm
that's
sure
a
you're 18
fact,
years
though.
old, but
Do you accept the terms and conditions and cookies that will be
Right,
received?
shit on
man,
their
I
house.
accepted when I was
Yeah.
6.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah, and they're on your home my bad. Like, so like I sell lighters legally, you know, of my brand, and a customer one time reposted my lighter, and there was like a tree bag from like cookies or wherever the dispensary was, and within 2 minutes I get like an Instagram, you're selling that the guideline shit.
What?
You're
You're
selling
drugs.
fake- yeah, you're selling,
and I took
illegal
a screenshot.
products.
I was like, what the fuck? And I went back. I'm like, there's no weed in this video. It's just the lighter, and there's
And
a tree
the
bag
bag.
in the bag.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I can't sell my lighters, but y'all saying that I'm selling drugs? Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
like,
much.
But you guys can sell sex.
I'm like, what the
Right?
fuck?
Yeah, but
you can sell sex on the
That's
internet,
crazy.
but you can't fucking sell weed.
Yeah.
The
Well, I didn't,
fuck?
I didn't sell weed. No, it was a lighter. That's,
No, I know that's what I'm
okay,
saying.
okay. I was like, wait.
A lighter or weed, but still, like
Yeah.
but that's what I'm trying to project.
Look at the
bro.
big ass gap, bro.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a huge gap, bro. Like
There's an OnlyFans for sex, but you can't make.
you can have the
OnlyFans for weed.
OnlyFans in your bio.
Swipe up.
Swipe up, but you can't have to swipe up to cop a lighter.
Subscribe.
Like they promoting prostitution basically.
Fuck
That's
that,
exactly
bruh.
what that is. Cause like I be watching interviews all the time. You
Weird
know what
ass
I'm saying? And, like,
goofy.
there's
Shout out
still
to the
people
Reddit.
down there in LA on Skid Row every day just pimping hoes out all day, and it's just like, dude, like. That shit's supposed to be canceled, supposedly, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
never did. Cops
Oh,
never
no.
put it into that shit.
But wherever
Instead,
there's money
they
to be
made
made, bro, there's
OnlyFans.
always
Yeah.
gonna be be a need for it. And
Oh,
if
most
that
definitely.
need goes by that person, somebody's gonna fill that gap in the industry.
definitely.
Because everything is supply and demand.
Facts.
That's a fact.
Facts.
You see, like I said, what was that one movie? It was I always forget this movie when I try to bring up the analogy. But it's when Leonardo DiCaprio was with his friend in the he's like, sell me this pen. And then he's like, what do you mean? How do I sell
Oh, the
this
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Wolf of Wall Street.
There you go.
And it's the
Yeah.
same thing, he always fills the gap. It's just like, oh, I need you to sign this paper, but he's like, oh, I don't have a pen. He's like, there you go, supply and demand, my friend. It's just like wherever there's a place for money to be made, you could damn near bet that the most devious shit is going on.
Most definitely.
Same with the drug trade, bro. The drug trade happened. Like, what did the CIA do? They couldn't stop it, so they just joined them. And I don't know if I'm getting too, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's some shit, like,
Nah, I feel it.
that's some shit, bro. It's just like they weren't stopping this. Like, you can't stop all this stuff, and it's just like, bro, why would you want to stop them when there could be money made?
Man.
Start making a profit.
Yeah, find your own way
Motherfuckers
to
gonna be
make
like,
that
who's
profit.
this guy? I don't want to go to a studio.
Well, shit, man, I don't know if we have time for one more topic. I think we've reached our time. Did we, June? What? Did we reach our time? Yeah? Damn. Well, we'll just to end it up. You guys want to give out your handles, your info again? Just
Last
to,
plugins, you know what I mean?
About everything.
Okay,
What if someone want to hire security for it?
Security. I ain't even got my guard card. No,
Hey, you could
Stop that, low
you
You
could
know what I'm
tap
saying?
in
I
with
got the
me.
best though.
Oh, hey, keep playing, man.
Yeah. You could tap in with me at Above Apollo on all platforms, and if you want to hire him to be your bodyguard, you could also tap in with me, and I'll hit him up. But yeah, thank you guys for having me on the podcast.
Thank you for
I
coming
had
on,
a great time.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
man,
yeah.
it was a good time. It was a good time.
Got your able. Hell yeah. It's great to hear your
Thank you.
story,
Anytime
too.
You guys want me on here?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm about to
man.
talk to a lot, but fuck, I'm
Hell yeah.
That's what
a podcast
That's what it's
is, man.
about, man.
Yeah, I'd love to take a look at the studio.
Oh,
Man, hey, we can go right
Come
now.
on, right
We
up
can go right
this,
now.
man.
For sure. Yeah,
And if
also,
you guys-
I also encourage the people to make podcasts, man. If you guys should make a podcast, man. I feel like you got a lot to say about music and the business, the industry, even like the technical stuff. I feel like you could teach a lot. Like, so
Yeah,
I think you making podcasts would be definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I know. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. for
Straight
sure.
up, man.
Sure.
All right, Apollo. Above Apollo, man. It was nice
Above
meeting
Apollo.
you, man.
Thanks for
That's
sliding
me,
through.
Have through, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure y'all subscribe to our
Till
YouTube.
next week.
Y'all may follow us on IG. We upload every Friday or Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you cop those crew necks. Those slide through
Hey,
crew
tap the
necks.
fuck in with Slide Through podcast.
Straight the fuck
If you
up.
ain't sliding through with the Slide Through, then you are slid through. Fuck you mean?
You
Slide
are
through with the
through.
Slide Through podcast.
You are through. Thank y'all, man.
Peace.